call Denise Roach.
Thank you, Mr Chair. It's a pleasure to take a call on this bill, and I'm delighted to see the person whose name it's in the chair up there. The Greens absolutely support this bill, and I take exception to the previous speaker's comments where he sounded so aghast at the thought of workers actually taking a holiday. It's reminded me very much of the Christmas story, the Christmas tale, and Mr Scrooge. Workers do need holidays. Workers are working longer hours than they ever have before. And the reason they are doing this is because the wages have been forced lower and lower and lower through this government's lack of action around developing proper jobs and decent standard of living for workers. If you compare what New Zealanders get in terms of public holidays and statutory holidays, we are falling below the OECD countries in terms of generosity for workers to have time to relax. This bill is a way of addressing that. This bill goes some way towards saying workers actually deserve 11 days off, that it is feasible for them to take their 11 statutory holidays every year instead of having to be shortchanged every 5 years or so when it falls on a weekend, when Waitangi Day and Anzac Day fall on a weekend. We reject the notion that by Mondayising both Waitangi and Anzac Day, that it somehow cheapens the commemorations. And other speakers already noted that this happens already on December the 25th, if it falls on a Sunday, and also the day after, and also New Year's Day and the day after. All four of these holidays are transferred. So it doesn't actually cheapen the event. And in fact, the day itself is the day where people commemorate both Anzac Day and Waitangi Day. Those days are sacred, and they will remain sacred wherever in the week they fall, as already been noted as well by Mr Robertson from the Labour Party. And if we think about what's coming up this weekend, it's Easter, and Easter is falling this week at the end of March. It never ever stays on the same days because it's attached to the moon, in fact. It's a lunar holiday. It is a lunar holiday. However, the fact that the actual days change does not cheapen the resurrection or the resurrection and death of Christ. This bill, where it Mondayizes both Waitangi and Anzac Day, may well increase participation, and certainly this has been the example of Australia for Anzac Day. At Waitangi Day, we have seen many people turn up for both the day before and on the actual day. When it falls on a weekend, there's a lower participation rate because people can't attach the extra day to the weekend. And local businesses up there have said that when it falls close to the start of a weekend, that it actually increases the amount of business that they have in their community. I guess if we are to think about Anzac Day and Waitangi Day as days that we should commemorate, then we should also think about the fact that we need to allow workers to have time to celebrate it. Whether it falls on a Sunday or whether it falls on a Friday for that matter, or a Thursday, the fact remains is that each of these days is special, and workers do participate in the celebrations and the commemorations around it. It's not onerous for businesses for this to be brought into fruition. There is a 2-year run-in for them to plan for it, and other speakers have already told you about the minimal cost that it will bring for businesses. I was just having a small holiday there. This bill is supported this bill is definitely supported by the Tourism Ministry, and I commend it to the House.
I'm going to call Barbara Stewart.
Thank you, Mr Chair. On behalf of New Zealand First, I would like to take a brief call on the